something a little bit different this week. I'm 6'5". What's this car really like on the real roads that we've travelled and the real distances? It's a Toyota Corolla 1.8 VVT H, which I presume stands for variable valve timing, and it's a hybrid. It's a great hybrid system. It's the saloon version, not available in the UK. We just have the hatchback, but in other respects completely the same as the UK model. Nice little car. First impressions, drives beautifully in town, really quiet, smooth, but there are downsides to it. It always impresses me just how much you get in a modern car in terms of tech. This comes as standard with lane control, adaptive cruise, which works very well, straight onto the Apple CarPlay. It's all the controls, bearing in mind this is a hire car, very intuitive. Being a Toyota, it's super reliable. We've already done around 3,000 kilometers on it, so it's a pretty good test. So in town, good car, but as you'll see in a minute when we're going to drive it, as you get going, the noise, it obviously doesn't have the same levels of sound insulation as more expensive cars, and there's a real drone coming from the drivetrain and the wheels on the road, and also it sits pretty low, and so for these Australian roads you've really got to be careful about grinding out. Especially at one point we had my stepson on board with all his luggage and all our luggage, and this car's only 1,295 kilograms as standard. We're suddenly adding around 300 kilograms to it, and it makes a real difference, not just to the performance but how it feels on the road, and it didn't feel great. It was really sort of tiptoeing over speed bumps. Yeah, so pluses are the tech, the ease of driving, the in-town driving, the fuel economy. It's doing around in miles per gallon, around 50 in real terms. It's quick enough, just over 10 seconds, 0 to 60, 110, 112 top speed. We haven't really explored that. The motorway limits are very low here, and speed is very strictly enforced, and the fines are pretty horrible, so everybody tends to drive around very close to the speed limit, and that's fine. So yeah, in town is great. On a run, as you might see from my legs here, as I said, I'm 6'5". There's a lot of leg unsupported. The seat is really low, and so I end up with all my weight on my bum cheeks. And if you're in the car for 6 hours or so, as we have been, I have had a lot of pain in my legs. It's really not a comfortable feeling at all. It's fine. The steering wheel has got really good height and reach adjustment, which is a big plus. So I can get fine like this, but there's no support here. And I can sit with my legs up, at least on the adaptive, on a motorway, but really struggling. And the seats are not very supportive in terms of their height, but they're also not very supportive in terms of their springing. And the quality of the cloth in here, it reminds me of a quilt my mother bought for my duvet in 1970. It's that sort of nylon. It's really not nice, and there's quite a lot of hard plastic. You would expect that on a lower end car, but this is a 2024 car. It's done 39,000 miles, and that would be sort of 13-ish thousand pounds used and upwards. But new, this car is 34,000. That's pretty steep, I would say, for what you're getting. So here we are in town, Just turn the fan down. We just got in the car. It's already 26 degrees and it's 9:20 in the morning. Australia's bloody fantastic. I love visiting here. It's beautiful. Now here we go. Bump, and I'm slowing down because there's still, even though we're not heavily laden now, a danger of bottoming out. But the car's quiet. You can just hear a little bit of road noise. We're doing 20 miles an hour at the moment, no speed at all. As you get going, you may not see that for a little while, the road noise becomes more intrusive, and that on a long run is tiring. You'd have to turn the radio up, and like I say, the drone from the drivetrain. Would I spend my money on a Toyota Corolla? The answer to that is no, I would not. Now, if I was wanting to spend 30-odd thousand on a car and I wanted something totally reliable, I would be looking instead at a 2-year-old Lexus, where it's got the sound insulation, it's got the more supportive seats, it's got a lot less of the hard plastics in, and it's altogether a more luxurious version of this car. And also, for me, I'd get a car that's a little bit higher off the ground. I'm not a fan of low cars. Where we live in France, in the countryside, narrow lanes, like a lot of the UK, quite often you have to put a wheel onto the verge so people can get by. It's a good idea to be able to see over the hedges, see what's coming, and have something with better ground clearance. So would I buy it? No. Is it a great hire car? Yes, it is. It's reliable, it does the job, and it's cheap for the hire company, and therefore it's cheap for us. But would I hire one again? Probably not, if I knew I was going to have long runs. I've really had a lot of jip from my legs.